E3 2012, Day 2. Our bodies weren't ready. They were not ready. But we will be here. We are here. Where are we? We have footage for you. We have games for you. We have impressions for you. We have come through the storm, and we were met with victory. So let's begin talking about what we saw today. What did you see today, Manny?
Well, you had a nice appointment at Nintendo at the beginning of the day.
Well, you were with me. So
Yes.
what was your favorite part of that appointment?
Well, how about you tell me what you did first?
Manny apparently is completely blanked out Nintendo due to the lack of RPGs up there. But we did play, what did we hit up first? We hit up the Zelda, Legend of Zelda Battle Arena Battle Quest. I forget what it was called. So it's a Zelda-themed part of Nintendo Land, that mini-game collection that they're doing for the Wii U. And they, what was it? It's 3 players, 2 people controlling Link with a sword using a Wiimote, 1 player controlling the gamepad. What is that called? The gamepad?
Gamepad.
All right. It's got a screen. Gamepads are like the Nintendo controller, whatever. So it's got a screen on it. You got and you're controlling archery. So you use the screen, and you kind of, that's how you aimed what you're going to shoot at. You pulled back the right trigger, let go, and you're shooting arrows. And 3 of you at a team are supposed to work through the level and get to the end. And everybody kept dying in the demos that we were doing. We tried it twice. We sucked at it. But it was Zelda themed. No Link in it, but you dressed up like Link. So it was a tech demo, but it was a Zelda kind of themed tech demo where you're killing moblins with arrows, and it looked very Mii sports-like, but little upgraded and with a Zelda theme. We also tried out the Luigi's Mansion thingy that's supposed to be like Pac-Man Versus, and you know, it was actually kind of easy to do.
Really?
Yeah.
You were confused about that. You were confused about that yesterday.
Yeah, it's not hard. So there's 3 you guys with four people with a flashlight, and they're supposed to run around level and catch the ghost. The ghost is the 5th player. He's got the gamepad, and on his screen he can see where he's going, but the players can't.
Mm-hmm.
So they shine their light to catch the ghost, and you keep shining on him to wear down his HP, and when he runs out of HP, he dies, but he can also kill the players. And so you're running around the stage. You were the ghost, running around the stage. You killed like me once and some other guy once.
Yeah.
Then your other players were able to bring you back to life, fortunately, and eventually we found you because you reveal yourself when you run around.
It was, I don't know, it just seemed like it was too easy to spot me, because all you have to do is, whenever I got close, there'd be a question mark over your head, so you just gotta rotate.
Oh, and the controller vibrated as you got close, too, so we had like a little radar system.
Then what was the point? I mean, am I just supposed to sit behind a corner and hope I don't get...
Yeah, I don't understand. It's basically, it plays until you lose. So it always sucks for the ghost, unless you were able to take us out one by one.
Yeah.
Basically, don't split up, and you can't lose that game unless you're the ghost.
Pretty much.
Also tried Lego City Undercover, right?
Okay, so it's like Lego GTA, and it really is. It's Lego GTA. No Lego prostitutes. So, but and
What was his name? Kane McLean, or
I think so. You're famous. Yes. I tried to run over pedestrians. You cannot run over pedestrians. I'm very disappointed. But you know, it's the same kind of GTA controls. You hit the top button, you jump in, you start driving. I took down a took down a clown robber. I had to crash into his van, take him down, and as he was trying to run away, he ran away into a corner, and he kept on running to that corner, and I think he's still running in that corner.
He's still running it right now. You broke the demo all day of Lego City Undercover.
So all I found out is it's like GTA, you can't run over pedestrians, and clown robbers are very dumb, and they like hanging out in corners. That's all I found out. Like, it was a 2-minute demo.
Because it bugged out. All right. I also played Pikmin 3. This is my first Pikmin game ever, and that's a fun series. If you haven't played a Pikmin game, it's a good game. You should probably try it out. So, it was Captain Olimar running around with Pikmins, and we were collecting fruit, and then we tried a boss level, and I had red Pikmin and rock Pikmin, and the boss was covered in ice. So I'd use the rock Pikmin to chop away at the ice covering the boss, and then throw all the red Pikmin and rock Pikmin at the boss to lower his health. And I got him to 50%, and then he just he killed me. And didn't work so well. So, but I tried, and it controlled really well with the Wiimote and nunchuck. You point at your screen, here's whistle, get your Pikmin, and then you point at exactly what you want to throw them at. It was really precise. It was easy, really easy to control. Then I tried the demo again with the gamepad controls, and it was terrible. So you had to follow the gyroscope of the gamepad to move the cursor on the screen. So you'd be moving the cursor by doing this, but you don't really know where the cursor is going to go because you're not pointing. So you're doing this, and then you're holding the button to whistle, and then you're doing it again to kind of figure out where to aim them, and it just felt completely unnatural and awkward, and it was just awful. So I'm thinking the gamepad doesn't work so well on that, but you get a nice map in the gamepad screen that you can like zoom and see the boss, see where he's hiding. So that's a nice benefit of that. But what else did we try? Oh, we also tried Super Mario Brothers U. You played that with us, right? No. Okay, it was me and Ed then. All right, and we played that, and that was fun. It's just like New Super Mario Brothers on the Wii right now that you can play, except it felt to me like there was more room for everybody on the screen. I don't know why. It's kind of the way it felt to me.
Upscale graphics.
The graphics are slightly better, but I mean, it's so cartoony, it's hard to notice the difference, really.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not just about how much better the graphics is, it's the resolution, too.
Sure, so I guess it made it feel clearer, so I wasn't feeling so cluttered. I can see that. And there was Yoshis in there, and you pick up a Yoshi, and he'll eat enemies and stuff like normal. It's a little baby Yoshi. But then if you flap the Wiimote, your Yoshi will fill up with air, and you float around. And then the fifth player with the gamepad was able to put on blocks and stuff. But instead of helping and making it easier for to jump up places, everybody who had the fifth controller, the gamepad, was using it to troll the other four players and make them die. So they'd wait for them to jump over a pit and put a block on their head so they'd hit that block and fall to their death. So that's going to be a problem with New Super Mario Brothers U. Everyone wants to kill you.
Simple answer. Don't be a dick.
Just don't play with those players, I guess. But it's a really hard temptation to avoid. It really is. It was so easy. I didn't do it. All right.
I'm gonna fall in a lot of pits, aren't I?
Maybe. Yeah. Other than the Nintendo, what did we get? We hit up Square Enix, right?
Yeah. We did some stuff before there. Chloe and I went to go see Rift Storm Legion. Chloe got in a little bit before me. So what were your thoughts, Chloe?
Well, I thought their zone event was interesting, where groups of players, I believe it was 80 to 100, are needed to take down this massive monster who will open up a, like in the video they showed,
yeah.
He destroyed a wall which opens up a new area into the world.
So the Rift takes the idea of public events and really makes it the focus of the game. And basically, one of the things that they wanted to do, that they said, is they don't want to be the MMO where raid is the end game. They want to be the MMO that public events are the end game, and that you don't have to get together the same set of people every week. You can go into some of these events and it's a public event. Everybody goes for it. The one that they showed us was actually really cool. It was the biggest Colossus they've put in the game so far. And you had to peel off his armor very slowly by focusing on various areas of him. And as the event was ongoing, he was actually walking forward into new territory. So at one point, when you'd gotten enough hit points off of him, he actually grabs like a massive wall that's in front of him and pulls the top half off and kicks the bottom half in. And when that happens, it actually opens up a new zone. And that is a temporary zone that will only be there after that particular sequence has been successfully triggered by the 80 to 100 people that the event is balanced for, triggers it. And that's a temporary zone that will only be available for a very limited time, and then the wall will be rebuilt and players will have to wait for their next opportunity to get in. But some of the things that they talked about, more mounts, more world events like that, and balanced for all different group sizes, the temporary zones. They are also more than doubling the landmass of the game. So it was actually really cool seeing the map, because there was like a little teeny tiny continent in the corner, and then they've added an island as part of their 9 major content patches since launch. And then it was like, here's the other 2/3 of the map that we're adding in as of this expansion. It was like, boom! It was like, whoa! So that was really cool for me.
You actually going to play the game?
Yeah, I really actually want to go back to it. They've added quite a lot of positive content to it that I really
Positive
like-
content. All right.
Well, I mean, this was the problem when you and I originally played it. Is it sort of felt like this is cool, but I could be playing WoW.
Yep.
And now that I'm seeing them play the game again, and I'm going through a lot of the stuff that they've been at, it's like there's enough to distinguish this game from WoW now that I don't feel like I'm playing WoW anymore.
You also hit up Atlas, right?
Yeah, we love Atlas. Atlas is our favorite. So we always
Fully impartial at RPGamer, huh?
totally Rom's my man. So
What did you play?
we played almost everything they had in the booth actually. So we played Chain of Princess. I hope that's the right name. It might be Clash of Princess. I think
It's not Clash of Princess.
Yeah, no. I'm pretty sure it is Chain of Princess, and basically, it's Girl on the Run. So you are playing the princess, and her family has given in to the enemy, and she's now on the run. But she's stolen the family sword. I'm desperately trying to think of.
So how does the gameplay work?
Well, it's interesting because even though it's an action RPG, it plays sort of like a TRPG. So it's sort of like these Valkyria Chronicles type games where you have a section of story and then a section of action and then a post story section.
It plays like Guardian Heroes.
Cool.
It doesn't play like Valkyria Chronicles or Valkyria Profile at all.
I mean, it's not tactical, but I mean, yeah, it's so once you actually get into that action sequence, it is an action RPG, and you are pressing buttons for various combinations.
Yeah, it's got 3 levels, and you're jumping between them.
Yeah.
You're doing like chaining together combo attacks and special attacks and going up levels, I guess. I didn't
Yes.
see the levels
Yeah.
in my demo.
Yeah, you do have levels. I dinged from 17 to 18. So
Okay.
that was pretty cool. Yeah, I like that a lot. I actually got to play a storyline where basically the princess had escaped and she had her thief friend with her, and we met this girl that everybody's like, "You're a zombie. What are you doing in a graveyard? Yeah, kill the zombie." And she's like, "I'm not a zombie. I'm a necromancer." And it was
Yeah, it's
great.
totally different.
Oh, totally different. I mean, and even better is not only is she a necromancer, she's Zozo. And Zozo does not speak because she doesn't have a tongue anymore. She prefers it that way. But she once took parts from she once killed a ventriloquist and took its skull. And so the ventriloquist skull on her holding up one of her ponytails talks for her.
Well, that's convenient.
Also, her staff is sentient.
Ah,
Staffy.
Staffy the Staff?
Yeah, Staffy the staff.
What else you play besides Staffy the Staff?
We popped over to Xenoclash 2. I hadn't played the first one.
This is the first-person punching game, is all I ever see from this game.
Yeah. I mean, this is actually supposed to be much more of an RPG than the first one. And since the first one wasn't an RPG at all, that's...
So this demo, I saw no RPG elements whatsoever, so what's going on?
Yeah, well, I mean, we talked about it, and things are going to be added, like being able to improve your character via stats and level up and stuff like that. And...
No, please tell us more.
the storyline picks up right where the previous game drops off, and you are rescuing Father Mother from its prison cell.
Okay.
So we will have a video of that at some point.
Full walkthrough of that. Persona 4 Golden we saw. That was shown to us by Mr. Aram himself. This is the Japanese version is what he had for us. We've got a full video of that walkthrough coming up on the site. The key points to hit on that are that there's a whole extra event coming in the game, the ski trip. That's post-game content, it sounds like. Unfortunately, it's not integrated into the story, so you have to like play through it to see that. I wish there was a way they could, for people who've already played the PS2 game. So this is more of an upgraded game. It's not like a completely redone game like Persona 3 Portable.
Basically, the way that Aram explained it is that when they moved Persona 3 to the PSP, their focus was on stuffing as much new content into it as possible, and that they actually scaled. They trimmed down the game to be much more streamlined. And with Persona 4 Golden, instead of focusing on redoing the content, they focus more on the technology. So it's upscale graphics, more VAs, fitting just and making a truly interactive experience. So because the Vita is a really interactive device, one of the things they're doing, for example, is you can unlock bonus content as you're going along in the game. And that's everything from in-universe TV channels that have advertisements, a music channel, and the cool thing is you can actually unlock select songs from the 2008 and 2009 Persona Music Live.
Those are good DVDs. I have those. So you get some selections from those, and that's pretty fantastic. And by interactive device, Anna means it has a touchscreen menu. So the PSP couldn't do that because I could have done it, except they didn't have the storage space. That's why they didn't do this sort of stuff with P3 Portable. At least that's what Aram claimed. So, yeah.
Yeah. And then after that, did you play anything else?
At Atlas, I played Persona 4 Arena yesterday. So, see yesterday's video.
After that, we all went over to Square Enix.
Square Enix. So, what did we did a lot at Square Enix, and yet not much at the same time. It was weird. So we all split up. That's what I mean by that. So, who wants to start with what they did at Square Enix?
Oh, I did Final Fantasy Dimensions.
You did Dimensions as well?
Yes,
all right,
I did.
That's one of the things I played there.
It's for iPad. It was originally released for
cell phone.
Cell phone.
The Japanese cell phone,
Yeah.
those crazy monster cell phones that are now finally eclipsed by Western smartphones.
Yes.
But yeah.
So to me, it felt like a regular old school Final Fantasy with standard classes: warrior, thief, black mage, white mage.
It's got a full-on job system. You can switch between the jobs
yes.
and level them all up, and then do like you do in most Final Fantasy games with job systems, switch to another job and equip abilities from previous jobs you've unlocked.
Yeah, abilities, but in the demo, everything was open to us.
You were completely maxed out character, so it was a pretty easy demo to play through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
But
I have to ask, are those the only jobs in the game? Because I didn't see any flavor jobs, like a berserker or anything like that, or a pirate. It's just straight up red mage, black mage, white mage.
yeah, it was like monk, black mage, white mage. Yeah, it was all the traditional stuff you've seen, but it was like 10 jobs.
Yeah.
It was a lot. It was a fair amount of jobs. I mean,
But like with Final Fantasy V, a lot of the fun was those bizarre jobs, or even like the dress sphere system in 10.2, right?
yeah, I didn't see if there was anything truly bizarre. Everything looked pretty standard to me.
Yeah, it looked like a classic Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Hey,
But-
hey, if you want that, it's on your phone.
There's
Yeah.
not a lot of those anymore. So this is a new 2D, well, new to the West, I guess. 2D RPG. It's got the 2D map. You're walking around the world map, random battles. You're leveling up your jobs and all that. And yeah, it's coming out August, I think, or July. It was on the screen. Shoot.
I didn't.
I'm gonna get that date for you. It's coming soon. I think summer. So sometime this summer, and I'm sure it'll be like $85 on the App Store because they love to charge. Probably be $16, I assume. Which
And then 16 for the iOS version.
Would-
I mean the iPhone version.
the iPhone version will be separate. Oh, I hope not. It just says iOS and Android. Android does not have a date. iOS was, I believe, summer 2012. So we'll see what's going on with that. You tried Heroes of Ruin, correct?
Yeah, and honestly, it's everything that we played last year, and nothing new.
Nothing new.
It didn't feel any different from last year, other than it didn't crash. I mean,
So it's a third-person over isometric view dungeon crawl where you kill stuff and get. Was there even loot?
oh yeah. There's loot, and I mean, there's all sorts of really cool features that we've already discussed, like the fact that you just hold down the down on the D-pad to just auto sell if you're not going to use it.
Yeah.
And things like that. I mean, I don't feel like I have anything to talk about because this is.
That's okay. We got a bunch of new stuff to talk about. Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. Did you try that at all, Chloe?
Briefly.
Briefly, I played a decent amount of a Riku campaign. Did you play that much?
I played Sora.
We got video of this one coming up, right? So we'll have a video of that one. It felt like every other Kingdom Hearts portable, which is to say I had a hard time figuring out where the enemies are and hitting them. And then I figured out the lock-on, and that helped a lot. But it just feels like, well, let's just wham the A button and every so often use some special moves. And then you get a cutscene, and something interesting happens with Mickey or Minnie.
Yeah, Mickey.
Well, there was Minnie in my demo.
Ooh, I had Goofy and Donald.
Yeah, I was going after Pete and the Beagle Boys in order to help the Three Musketeers.
The Three Mouseketeers.
Oh, yeah, they were right. That's the Mouseketeers, yeah.
I mean, they weren't calling it the Mouseketeers, though, because I guess it was only Mickey that was the mouse.
Oh, well.
So, yeah, I mean, this is the problem. It's like, I want to say all sorts of good stuff about this, because what I played, I really loved. But it's like this is like every single other Kingdom Hearts game, which is not a knock by any stretch of the
And
imagination.
I had no idea what was going on with the plot because there's so much stuff has happened in the 2 games that I haven't played yet, or 3. I don't even know how much. 45 Kingdom Hearts games, whatever they are. You need a FAQ and a video and a guide, and I don't know.
Now, the nice thing I liked is, at least both of the stories that they're showing here, is that Sora and Riku are both going to the same worlds, but they're approaching it from basically 2 different sides.
Sweet, they doubled the content, reusing the assets. It's good for their development process. All right. All right. What else did we have at Square Enix?
I know. Theater Rhythm.
Theater Rhythm, Final Fantasy rhythm game. We don't cover this on the site. I still think that we should, but well. Did you play Disco?
No, I played Final Fantasy IX because it's my favorite.
Okay.
So the thing that I really dig is obviously you are judged by how well you do in the songs. And I think I got a C on mine. I didn't do too bad. I got like 5 misses. But the thing that I really love is it actually gives you bonus rhythm based on how you are building your party. So for example, I was playing Final Fantasy IX music, and I got a bonus because I was using Zidane, and he's the main hero of the game.
So the bonus rhythm makes it easier to hit the notes or something?
No. The bonus rhythm is like as you play through the game, you're building up like a rhythm crystal, and the more rhythm that goes into the crystal, the more stuff you're unlocking. So it's more music, all the sorts of the extra goodies, the theater. I mean, everything you sort of expect from a rhythm game.
They actually made a crazy Final Fantasy story for this game about in the beginning there was the rhythm crystal and it generated the 4. Oh, whatever.
Yeah, between Chaos and oh man, why can I never remember her side? Chaos and Order. Yeah, in between Chaos and Order is music. And that's the story of the game. But I also was getting bonuses for things like I had an all-male party, and I hit like a good chain of a minimum of notes and stuff. I'm really stoked for it. It was really fun. At one point, a chocobo busted into my party, and all my notes turned gold.
Awesome.
So that was really cool. I really liked that. So I'm pretty stoked for the game. It's coming out in like 3 weeks or something like that. It's really with maybe a month. I think it might have been July. Yeah, I'm super stoked for this one.
And then you hit up an indie game. Can you quickly explain Prom Night?
Yeah, Prom Night is, I'm a big fan of Glee, so this sort of drama is totally my thing. It's basically a Persona-style relationship system without the dungeon crawling. So basically, you are playing as a guy or a girl who is a couple days away from prom, and you have certain objectives you need to make, like making a date for the prom, getting a new friend, pissing somebody off. And there's 10 campaigns right now. And with 18 characters total, you can be friends, you can be romantic, you can actually be sworn enemies. And as those relationships change and evolve by your actions, it actually changes how the ending works. So
Awesome. I'm sure you'll enjoy that game very much. Yeah.
It's a me game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. So, Manny, what else did you get to hit up today?
Let me see. Where was I? Oh, me and Ed checked out Larian Studios. They're doing the new Divinity game.
This is a prequel?
I think so. I think they're both prequels, strangely enough, like the first one.
The first game was a prequel to itself?
No, we saw 2 games. We saw Dragon Commander, which is like they told us like a strategy RPG. We mostly saw the strategy and didn't see much of the RPG.
All right.
So think of they said the RPG comes in when you have a mothership. Think StarCraft 2, and you have the Hyperion, and you walk around the ship and you talk to people. But I guess it's like that, but even more fleshed out. So there's multiple characters on your bridge. They have some complete story arcs. How you deal with them, talk to them, develops them in different paths and different endings, and they unlock new abilities based on those interactions you have with them. And then your own dragon, who you control in real time during some of these fights. He has his own level up and abilities. So we didn't see much of the RPG in our demo video that you'll see, but I asked him the question, and he showed us like, oh yeah, there's a lot of RPG stuff going on. He showed us a wall full of characters with their character arc trees and their skills they unlock, and then your own dragon stuff. So apparently there's a meaty strategy RPG there. The strategy stuff, it's a weird mix. You have like this game board where you're conquering different regions of different countries with different races. And you go into battle, you have RTS units coming in, you have units defending, and then you control the dragon that can blow up units individually. It's a lot going on. And then there's alliances. You can, like, at one point, the guy was married to the Elven princess, to secure an elven alliance for the elven territories, but he just invaded the dwarven territories. So he divorced his wife and married the dwarven wife, and that upset the undead people who are super religious and value the sacredness of marriage. It was Dragon Commander.
All right. So what about Divinity?
Divinity Original Sin looks really good. It looks has this sort of indie feel to it. I guess they are indie now. They're doing all of this self-published. They're using the same engine for both games. It's top-down, turn-based, isometric RPG, really bright, colorful.
The last one was not isometric at all, so this is a big departure.
Yeah, but you know, honestly, from what I saw, I'm glad they took the departure. I'll be honest, Divinity was never on my radar before. I never cared, but this one is just, there's so much interactivity in the world. Like, for example, if you find flour, you know, you find some water, you mix it together, you make some flour. You find a fire, you can cook, you make some bread, or you can make it rain with a spell, and there'll be a puddle on the floor, and then you can shock that puddle and electrocute enemies. So there was this big undead tank thing that was like overpowered and overleveled, and he was gonna kill the guy who was doing the demo. So what did they do? They had some water on the floor, they electrocuted him, they stunned him, and then there were like 10 other guys that they were having to deal with on the side. So what did they do there? They saw some explosive barrels on the side, of course. They blew up one barrel, set off a chain reaction, blew up some suicide guys on the side, and then it just killed up half of the enemies in one shot. So you can interact with pretty much everything, pick up everything, move it around. It's a co-op game. You can jump in with your friend. Co-op game, jump in with your friend. It was guy and girl. One's been resurrected, the other one's been like tortured for the last several years, trying to figure out what's going on, why the orcs are invading their territories, and basically, actually one thing I will touch on before I wrap this up and save it for the video is that there's this really cool system where, like a lot of RPGs you're playing with friends, the guy who's hosting the game gets to decide what the character choice dialogues are going to be. It's actually a back and forth. You can be like, we should spare this guy, and then you'll be like, no, we should kill him, and there'll be like a dice roll based on different stats, and maybe you'll win and we end up saving his life, and the guy goes off, and there's consequences for that in the future. And I guess if that guy comes back and tries to kill somebody, he's like, I told you we should have killed him. Like, no, we should still save him again. There's kind of interplay back and forth, and this big open world, interactive everything, interactive everybody. It looks pretty cool.
Excellent.
And both games are Mac PC at launch, so that's interesting.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
That's not normal. We also hit up, I hit up the Old Republic. Chloe, you were there too. So
yes.
We saw the Old Republic. They told us about their upcoming. Well, first off, they bragged a little bit about how they had like the biggest subscription MMO launch ever, and how they, whatever. So they're very proud of their launch, but it's not launch time anymore. And as we know, they lost like a third of their subscribers recently. So where are they at now? They just brought out 1.2, and they're working on patch 1.3, and they pimped a little bit of that.
It's called Allies.
Allies, yep. So they're changing some of the legacy perks, abilities, and customization for your legacy system, giving you adaptive gear so you can look like a sand person and still have gear on that's good stats for you. So that's good if you like to cosplay in the Old Republic. And like you mentioned, there's probably going to be a Sand Person guild on your server. Just look for it if you really want to join it.
Oh, there's a new comrade.
Yeah, the HK-51.
Yes.
If you played the Old Republic games, you know HK-47, the droid that really hated humans.
I thought it was AK.
HK. It's HK. Yeah.
Oh.
And he really hated humans, but now you can find his pieces, upgrade him, and you have to do some really hard quests to do this, and he will be your new companion, and this works for any class, any faction. So any character in Star Wars The Old Republic can do these quests and then get him for their companion. Like a new tutorial system, some ranked war zones, blah, 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 blah.
They're also doing massive operations.
There's new operations. They've got nightmare mode operations coming up, which are going to be super, super, super hard for the people who want harder stuff. They've got a new Terra from Beyond that they're adding. They've got a heroic dungeon thing that they're adding. We played some of that content, which is another dungeon. So if you're a player, you want it, but otherwise you probably don't care. And a new 8 versus 8 war zone is coming. This is all long term. Yeah, and I think this last stuff I'm talking about from the Nightmare Ops on is all like post 1.3. I don't know that all that's coming. Yeah.
Level content.
In July, they're going to get up to level 15 for free, and there's also going to add a new planet, and they're going to increase the level cap. That's all stuff that's coming in the future. A lot of stuff's already out there, honestly, so you want to Just go to their page. They've got all that stuff posted. You can see all the stuff that's coming down the pipe for that game. I was kind of sad that this was all they had to announce. There's nothing about a new expansion. There's nothing about really anything fundamentally revolutionary for the game. Nothing about like a queuing system like World of Warcraft has that would help their really bad dungeon situation that they have right now. It's really, really hard to get a party to do a dungeon in there without just shouting and sitting in town and being able to do nothing else, waiting to get in a dungeon. And they didn't address any of that sort of stuff at all. So I'm not too hopeful on that front right now. I'm hoping they change some things. We also hit up Axis.
Yes.
What did we see at Axis?
Record of Agorist Wars 2 and their new collector's edition.
Yeah.
But they brought the collector's edition?
No.
No.
Picture.
No.
No. They have a
blow-up doll?
Yes.
Okay. I was joking, but all right.
No, they actually do. They have an inflatable doll. It is chibi style. They originally revealed it and they mosaicked out. They blurred out the doll to make people wondering, well, what the heck's that going to be? They were just being cute with that. It's not going to be nude or anything. But it also comes with a little towel.
A compressed towel with.
So when you're done with the blow-up doll?
Oh, Manny.
The towel gets larger when exposed to water. And that'll be kind of a full-size hand towel.
Apparently she's nude on the towel.
And yeah, she's nude, but I think she's tastefully covered up by something. It was the impression that I got.
You can't be tasteful.
Why would she be nude on the towel? You're done by then.
The art book. The art book coming with the limited edition for Agorist 2 is it looks like an encyclopedia on the cover, and they said, yeah, that's how it looks like on the cover. But you remember back when you were in high school and you brought in your naughty magazines and you put them in the cover of a textbook to hide them? Yeah, that's how this art book's working. Inside.
Are they even trying anymore? Are you just saying our fans are perverts?
Yes, that's basically what they're saying. The first game, the first Agorist War, they said they tried to be as outrageous as possible. The second game, they tried to be as family friendly as possible. The sequel game.
Zero.
Yeah, Agorist War 0. That's the second. Yeah. Okay. And then the third one, they're trying to blend the line between the two so that stores don't remove the product from the shelves like may have happened in the first game.
Yeah.
So they're trying to blend the line there, and yeah. So inside the art book, it'll be like a copy of Maxim with articles, and they're going to try and write really good articles so that you can say, oh, I read it for the articles, not the artwork. Yeah. So the game itself is. It's a grid-on-grid battle system, so you got characters on a grid on one side, characters on the grid on the other side.
And you have the 4 buttons, which controls four of the characters in your party, similar to Valkyrie Profile.
Yeah, except you get to choose which attack is on each button, which character's on each button.
That's like
it's interesting.
Valkyrie Profile.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, and there will still be generations, so you'll go through multiple generations of heroes.
There's 3 generations.
Yeah. So you get to choose what your kid looks like and what sort of traits they'll inherit from their parents.
You don't really choose how your kid looks like. You choose
sure.
how your wife looks like, which affects your kid.
Okay, well, you kind of choosing what your kid looks like when you do that. Like, do I want to play as the character with wings on his back or not? You know, there'll be mini games. I have written here slightly erotic. Is that actually?
Oh, mini games, which enhances a character's statuses, whether it be in battle or their affection towards you.
I don't remember writing slightly erotic for the mini games.
Yeah,
there.
because they have shiatsu mini games and all that good stuff.
all the stuff on the disc is uncensored in this region. They're not censoring any of the content on the disc. Some of the DLC involves a potentially very underage character, so they may not be able to bring all that out here. So that's what they wanted to let us know. Oh, and this time around it has all HD sprites. We also saw Virtue's Last Reward, just real quickly. That's the spiritual sequel to 999. You want to know how those games tie together? It would be a spoiler. So play the games. We got to see what it looks like, and it's going to be exciting. It sounds like if you want to play it on 3DS or Vita, you don't need to worry about sacrificing things by choosing which platform to play it on. So if you're into that visual novel stuff, go check it out. Get excited for that. And they announced a game that they didn't announce it. They said there's a game that we haven't announced yet called Ragnarok Tactics.
Yes.
Which is a port of a PSP title that came out like late last year or early this year. We're not 100% sure.
February.
Oh, February. And Ragnarok Light of the it's had some long Japanese title. It's going to be on PSP in the US.
Okay.
So they will be announcing a new PSP title, Ragnarok Tactics. It's a tactical game
based on the Ragnarok online
Oh, really?
character
Yep.
classes and world, I think.
Yeah, classes, skills, and the universe design are based on RO, and there'll be 3 factions to ally with, 5 different endings, and instead of having to play the game over to get the other endings, you can go back to key decision points in
Yeah.
the story.
Because each playthrough takes around 20 hours.
Yeah,
so you wouldn't want to do more than 100 hours to get all 5.
So yeah, he says it'd be about 20 hours to get each ending. Yeah, and you can also you create your classes and you customize them and.
Oh no, you have set classes, but you can customize them.
Okay.
So based on Ragnarok classes.
Well, okay. I'm sorry. You create characters as in you pick what class they are.
Oh, you can
You create
change your
characters.
hair like in Ragnarok.
And it'll be out this fall.
Yes.
And then that's it for Axis. Did anyone else see anything else?
Yeah, me and Chloe stopped by Tecmo Koei.
Oh.
Ooh, what'd you see there?
Pokemon Conquest.
I actually stopped by and played that as well. I forgot.
Yeah, I forgot. I just was writing it down while you.
Pokemon Conquest. Nobunaga's Ambition meets with Pokemon.
So it's a tactical RPG that blends the very familiar Pokemon strength and weaknesses and personality into the Nobunaga Ambition styling and universe. So levels are to either defend or capture castles or areas. I think it's all castles.
Yeah, you're on a big map. You see your castles, you see their castles, and you can choose, I'm going to go and attack those. And you can move your Pokemon forces around. Your Pokemon forces are a trainer with a Pokemon, and all that shows up on the battlefield is the Pokemon.
Specifically, it's a warrior with a Pokemon, or if you are good enough, you will evolve into a warlord.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's not just the Pokemon evolving this time.
It's
the
you.
people, too. So I got to evolve. That was kind of really cool. Basically, I had taken my team out to challenge the Rock gym leader. And he was like, you're puny, and I don't feel like fighting you, so buzz off. And in reality, he'd actually sent a force to my castle to attack me. So I had to rush back and defend my castle. And it was a big field that had 2 layers. So there was like a sunken pit around a square, and then a border around that was the same level as the square. And there were 4 banners, and the goal was for either my team or their team to hold the 4 banners for 5 turns, and whichever side could do that would win. You can also knock out all the opponent's Pokemon. But
Yeah, I played a similar one that was just capture flag, and whoever got the 3 banners first won, and I was able to win that pretty easily because the AI sucked at getting. This game feels really easy.
I think it is going to be easy because they were the way that the Nintendo rep was talking about it was, we know that Pokemon has a younger audience, so this is what we've done for them.
Yeah, so other things in this, it feels very much like a traditional tactical RPG. Positioning matters. You're more likely to hit from the side or the back, and there's special attacks. I didn't even figure out how to trigger them.
Well, you can use your warrior abilities at any point during your turn. And there are things like you can only use your warrior ability once in an entire skirmish. But I mean, it's things like Jigglypuff had a heal, my Eevee had a boosted movement rate, and in fact, when I evolved, what it was is depending on how good of a relationship you have with your Pokemon, they start to unlock new and better abilities. So when I started, my Eevee's warrior ability only allowed him to move additional spaces, but I got my relationship of them up to like 35%. Maybe it's 42.
Whatever.
I went over a new landmark that my warrior ability changed. Not only could I have even more move when I triggered it, but I would have increased attack for the next 3 turns.
So are you getting this day 1, Chloe?
If I remember.
If you were.
Is it 19th?
Yeah, it's like August 19th,
No,
right?
June.
It's July.
July 19th?
June.
It's June 19th.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to go pre-order it right now. In fact, I think we're going to wrap
Anna
up.
did it already.
Yeah, we're going to wrap up now and go pre-order it. I'm actually still on board, even though it seems pretty easy, because it sounds like a fun game to play. So I enjoyed it, and I think that's it for day 2.
Yeah, let's go. We have a women in gaming party to go to.
Oh, the women's and gaming party, and then we're pre-ordering
I
Pokemon.
got an invitation.
They don't need to know the whole story.
Yeah, it's the only 50-50 mix party at AE3. So we're out, and we'll catch you all tomorrow.
What,
Until
you want
then,
party crashers? Is
we're
that what you want?
partying so that we'll be even more tired
The
tomorrow.
party's 50-50, just like RE3 wrap-ups.
Yeah, see ya. we had like 6 minutes left.